Alright, so we have our Flux file structure complete. As far as just creating the files, we haven't actually added any code yet. So we're going to start to do that now. The main.js file inside of the source folder is where everything's going to it's kind of the entry area. This is where we're going to expose our main application component and also the rest of the Flux file structure. So up at the top here, we're going to create a variable called app, and this is going to be our main application component. All right, and this is no different than just using React.js without Flux. All right, so we're going to set this to require, and we want to require // and then components /app. Okay, so that's going to include this right here, this app.js file, which we'll get to in a minute. Also, we of course need React itself, so we're going to say var React and require React. Okay, and that's in the node modules folder. We already handled that by installing it via npm. Okay, we're also going to need the React DOM, so React DOM, and that's going to be set to require React-DOM. Alright, and we're also going to want to expose our API file here, so app API, and we're going to require, that's going to be in the utils folder /app, actually. Yeah, it should be app API like that. Actually, we also want to add the JS. And let me just check that file name. I'm actually going to make that a lowercase a. I like to only have the components have the uppercase first letter. Alright, so that's good for our imports. Now what we need to do is call our render method. This is where we're going to render everything. So we want to say React DOM.render, and we want to include our main component, which is called app. And then the second parameter is going to be where we want to insert it. So we're going to say document.getElementById, and we want to pass in app. Save that. And that's all we need in our main.js file. Alright, so now what we want to do is open up our app component, so app.js, and we're going to start to create this React component. Alright, we're going to do all of our imports. So we want React, okay, we're also going to want our actions file. So we're going to say, oops, we need our var. We're going to say var app actions and set that to require. We want to go to .. because we want to go outside of the components directory, and then into actions, and then finally app actions. Actually, yeah, we don't need to put JS. That should be fine. Alright, now our store, we also want to be able to access from here. So we're going to say app store. Okay, again, we want to go outside of the directory and then into stores/app store. Alright, and then any other component we create we'll also have to include here, but I'm not going to get into that just yet. Alright, so one thing we need to have is our render method. Alright, so we need to wrap that in the create class function. So we're going to say var app is equal to react dot create class, and then we want to pass in some curly braces, and let's create render. Okay, so let's render a return and we're going to return a div, and in here let's just say my app. Okay, we'll save that, and let's see if we get any errors or anything. I'm just going to open the console. What's Bootstrap JavaScript requires jQuery? Did I not include it in the index? I thought, yeah, I did. Huh. You know what? Let's try to run gulp. Oh, okay. So I got out of gulp, so we need to run that again. Okay, so now let's go reload. Okay, we're still getting Bootstrap requires jQuery. Let's do Control U and just click on that. Oh, we have jQuery under Bootstrap. That's why. We have to, we have to require that first. All right. Okay, so type should not be null, undefined. Let me see what we have here. So we have our app, render. Oh, we didn't export it. Yep, down at the bottom we have to say module dot exports app. Okay, because it wasn't available outside of the file. In order for us to use it, we have to include that. Or was that not it? Let me... Huh. Module.exports equals app. Let me just see if there's anything else here. Actually, you know what? I think it might be because of this semicolon here. Yeah, that was it. Okay. So now you can see it's outputting my app, which is coming from right here. All right, so that's perfect. So now that we know that the actual app component is showing and we're getting no errors, we're going to start to work on our Flux files here, starting with the dispatcher. All right, so appdispatcher.js, and the code I'm going to write in here is, you can pretty much use this in your future applications as well, unless you have some kind of special circumstances. But we're going to write this file and we're not going to touch it again after that. All right, so don't worry if you don't understand all of it. And if you look online and you read about Flux, all the dispatchers will pretty much look like this. All right, so we're going to set this to require, and we're going to use that Flux module that we included in our package.json file, and we want to make sure that we say dispatcher. All right, you want to call the Flux dispatcher. All right, and then we're going to assign the object assign module. So we're going to say require, and we want to pass in here object assign. All right, and then we're going to create a variable called appDispatcher, and we're going to set that to assign. And then in here, we're going to pass in new dispatcher. All right, and then next parameter, we need to open some curly braces, and this is where we're going to put our view action or handle view action. Okay, and this takes care of sending the payload. So we need to pass in action, and we're going to say var payload. I like to put the payload in its own variable. We need source, which will be view underscore action,